She, an elderly East Asian woman, is not visible. He left for self-discovery and gave me divorce.
When she told me she was leaving for a week, it wasn't a discussion, it was a declaration. She stood there in the kitchen doorway, suitcase zipped, sunglasses on before the sun was even up. Her tone was light, almost cheerful, but the words were sharp. "I need space," she said. "Time to reconnect with myself. You can either accept that, or we should talk about divorce." She said it like she was ordering a coffee, like the choice was obvious and my part in it was optional. I just nodded slowly. Not because I agreed, but because something inside me finally clicked. In that moment, I realized I'd already been losing it for years, piece by piece. She smiled, kissed my cheek like we were still on the same team, and drove away without looking back. Once her car disappeared, the house felt strangely calm. Not empty, clear, like a loud, constant noise had finally stopped. I didn't react right away. I didn't call, I didn't argue. I just made some coffee, sat at the dining table, and thought about how many times I'd swallowed my own discomfort just to keep the peace. How many times I told myself, this is just a phase, that all marriages need patience. But my patience had slowly turned into her permission to do whatever she wanted. That afternoon, I logged into our joint bank accounts. I wasn't snooping, I was finally paying attention. The numbers on the screen told a story she never bothered to share. Small money transfers at first, then larger ones. Vague descriptions for expenses. Money moving around without a single conversation. It wasn't just this vacation she was taking. It was a whole parallel life. That night I slept better than I had in months. I felt focused, like a man finally steering his own ship instead of just drifting in the current. She started texting from her trip. Photos of beautiful sunsets. Captions about healing and self-love. She sent messages telling me how amazing she felt and how she hoped I was using the time to reflect. Oh, I was reflecting, all right. Silence felt more honest than any words I could type. On the fourth day, her tone changed. "Why are you being so distant?" she asked. She accused me of punishing her for taking time for herself. I typed out a long, angry response and then deleted it. By the time she came home, everything was ready. She walked through the door glowing, dragging that suitcase behind her, smiling like she'd just won a marathon. She immediately started talking about the amazing energy of the place, the incredible people she met, how much clarity she'd found. She stopped mid-sentence when she saw the dining table. A single folder sat right in the center. "What's this?" she asked with a nervous little laugh. I stayed seated, calm, steady. "You gave me a choice," I said. "I made one." Her smile completely vanished as she opened the folder. Divorce papers, financial summaries. Dates were highlighted and transfers were circled in red. Her confidence drained away with every single page she turned. "This is insane," she said, her voice shaking. "You're overreacting. I didn't mean it like that." "You said I could either put up with it, or we could divorce," I replied. I chose not to put up with it. Next, she tried anger. She accused me of betrayal, of spying, of not supporting her personal growth. Then came the tears, the apologies, the promises to change. But her words were arriving far too late. "You can't just get respect back because you're suddenly afraid of the consequences." "I didn't leave," I told her quietly. "You pushed me out a long, long time ago." She asked where she was supposed to go. I told her she'd need to figure that out, just like I'd been figuring things out completely on my own for years. That night, she slept in the guest room. And I slept peacefully for the first time in what felt like a lifetime. The days that followed were predictable. She tried to control the story. She told our friends I was being cold, impulsive, and cruel. But eventually the truth just surfaced on its own. It always does. Numbers don't lie, and neither does time. The man she'd gotten close to on her solo trips suddenly vanished once things got inconvenient. It turns out, self-discovery trips often attract people who disappear the moment accountability shows up. The divorce was clean. No shouting matches in court, no big drama. Just signatures on a page and a sense of finality. I walked out of that building feeling lighter than I had in years. Months passed. I moved into a smaller place. I cooked the meals I actually enjoyed. I slept through the night without that familiar tension in my chest. I didn't rush into anything new. I didn't need to. Peace had filled the space where chaos used to live. She reached out once, months later, saying she missed our life, and you know what? I believed her. But missing something doesn't mean you deserve to have it back. The vacation she took to force a decision from me ended up giving me exactly what I needed. It gave me clarity. She thought her ultimatum would scare me back into silence. Instead, it set me free. Some people leave to find themselves, but others have to stay just long enough to remember who they are. I chose to be the second one. Thanks for listening.